pass. Rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Pass rolling to his right. They throw it. Pass rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anastier.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown. Swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening, everybody. Daniel Gunderson here for your live events broadcast of high school volleyball action in North Dakota with the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers taking on the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros in a cross-region matchup between Region 1 and Region 2 early on in the high school volleyball season. A pleasure to bring you tonight's game on your live event. Dan Gunderson alongside me, cameraman Reggie, going to give you an opportunity to watch tonight's broadcast between these two schools. Both coming in, having their first opportunity to play a full 5-set broadcast or 5-set game with these two programs. They both were in the Northern Cass Invitational earlier last weekend, both going 2-1 in pool play, finishing 6th and 7th respectively out of that, and then losing off in the tournament. Plenty to get to in tonight's pregame show, brought to you by Irie Insurance. Irie Insurance, there's another way for you to manage your farm's risk and protect your equity with margin protection from Irie Insurance. Margin protection provides coverage against an unexpected decrease in operating margin. In other words, they can put a policy in place to protect you from changing input costs and crop prices on your farm. Join Irie Insurance for upcoming margin protection tomorrow at 8 a.m. in Hillsboro. For more information, visit their website at irieinsurance.com. That's Irie Insurance, which is an equal opportunity provider. We've got interviews to get to. We got some pregame breakdowns to do for you, which is brought to you by Dakota Heritage Bank. So a lot of stuff coming up in our Irie Insurance pregame show. When we come back, we will hear from the head coach of the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros, Katie Stabler. You're watching North Dakota High School volleyball on your live event.
Years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
As spring arrives, so does allergy season. Stop at Hillsboro Drug for all your allergy medications, along with over-the-counter medications, vitamins, health and beauty items, and more. Don't forget, you can now text Hillsboro Drug anytime for your prescription refills, 701-636-5231. Remember, Hillsboro Drug also offers mail-out service and free delivery in Hillsboro and Halstead. Be sure to check out the gift section with new spring items, too. Your full-service pharmacy is Hillsboro Drug.
Back here with the head coach of live event, Daniel Gunderson, with you tonight with the cameraman Reggie, getting you ready for some cross-regional North Dakota girls volleyball action between Hillsboro-Central Valley and Fargo Oak Grove. Hillsboro-Central Valley coming in after taking a 7th place finish in the Northern Cass Invitational last week, going 2-1 in rural pool play, and then losing in the first round. Katie Stabler, the head coach, had the opportunity to see 40 girls go out for volleyball this summer and fall, in a big program to say the least, and had a chance to catch up with her in the pregame. Talk to her about how the opening weekend went for her team and what to expect for tonight's game. Here with the head coach of Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros varsity volleyball team, Katie Stabler. Coach, you had a ton of girls go out for the volleyball team this year. I think it was 45 athletes in total. What has that led for you in the first few weeks of the season to find out about this team? A lot of depth, but who's kind of risen to the top to lead this team.
Yeah, it's been good. The amount of girls that we had in the gym is a lot of fun. It makes the gym feel very small, I guess. We're fortunate to have 2 gyms, but that first week of tryouts, it was great to see all the girls just compete against each other. We saw leaders step up that helped with that team selection a little bit. And once we got their team selection, they started to accept their roles, what roles they were given on that team, and it's starting to click. It's nice to see, C Squad started off very strong here. They came out with the win, and they had a jamboree this past weekend, so I think they didn't have the jitters maybe that the JV does, but I think the JV's doing a good job so far. We're excited. We're excited just to play another person besides ourselves.
So have you guys played a game at this point of the season? And just talk to me about how that first or few games went for you guys.
Yeah, this past Saturday we were at the Northern Cass Invitational, and we ended up beating Linton in 3 sets in pool play, lost to Medina, beat Enderlin, and then we finished 7th overall out of the 20 and was placed in the gold division, where we went and lost against Lemoore in 2 sets there. Very good team, but we saw a lot of really, really good things there. Our defense was on. Our serve receive was huge for us. We saw things that we need to keep working on. But overall, I thought we competed very well.
Who did you think really rose to the occasion in those handful of games that you got to play over the weekend? And maybe give us some names to watch out for tonight, too.
Yeah, I thought Kaylee Kittleson, our libero, did a fantastic job in that back row. She's one that doesn't let a lot of balls drop, and she does it in a fancy way. So she's kind of fun to watch when she's on that court. Up in that front row, I thought Haley Smeldon did a great job in the middle. Carsey Hattlestead in that middle as well. And Addie Merck, she kind of just led us, just with her enthusiasm. She's a senior leader out there. She's got a year experience on the varsity court, and I think that just helped calm some of the girls' nerves down, but then make them confident as well.
So what do you expect tonight coming in against Fargo Oak Grove? What do you know about them? Maybe give us a little bit of insight of how you've approached this week of practice and strategy.
Yeah, they were at the tournament as well, and we got to watch them a little bit. They're a very good team. Last year, they were a very good team as well. They got a good program over here. We just got to make sure we do what we can do and control our side and make any small adjustments that we need to make, especially with their hitters. I thought our girls improved on that throughout the tournament, and we got to work on it a little bit, just things that we saw just needed some improvement. We got to do in our 1 day of practice. We just got to be ready. I mean, like I said, control, defense first. That's going to be big.
Awesome. Hey, good luck tonight, Coach Stabler, and thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you to Coach Stabler for that opportunity to talk to her before the game. That interview, of course, brought to you by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing our heritage, sharing our future, with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. That's dhbanknd.com. We'll have an opportunity to sit down with the head coach of the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, Michaela Hesdalen, when we return. You're watching North Dakota High School Girls Volleyball on your live event.
At Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy Apartments in Twin Valley, they want to ensure you or your loved one are in the best place for your current care needs. They offer a variety of first-rate services with a tailored plan to exceed your expectations at any level of care. Residents can continue to do what they have always loved while trying new experiences that they've never had time for. For more information on Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy in Twin Valley, call 218-456-2105.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Dan Gunderson back with you at the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers Gymnasium in North Fargo with our IRE Insurance pregame show. Had an opportunity to catch up with the head coach of the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. One, Michaela Hesdalen, knows a thing or two about volleyball, played collegiately at North Dakota State University, and talked about her young Grovers squad in their game tonight against the Burros. Here with the head coach of the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, Michaela Hesdalen. Make sure I get that pronunciation correct. And Michaela, just want to ask you right away, What have you seen from your team to start this season? Just what's the energy been like, kind of the vibe with the team, and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight. It's a home crowd, so that's always awesome. We had a tournament this past weekend, and it's getting the jitters out, which we definitely saw, but improved on some great things. We have a lot of girls that return this year, so I'm excited for that, have that varsity experience, which is huge. I think we've worked a lot in practice, too, on our serve receive. That's something that we needed to work on this summer, and we've gotten a lot better at it, and I'm excited because that's where it starts in volleyball, is that serve receive. And then we have some good hitters that are able to put the ball away. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do tonight.
That Northern Cass Invitational is what you started off the season. A lot of teams, a lot of talent was there. What did you learn about your team during that Invitational?
I think there were some ups and downs, which you're going to have the first tournament of the season. Nerves, like I said, but I saw a lot of good things. Setters stepped up, was really good leading the team. Our seniors stepped up, too. We have a lot of seniors this year. And we did play some great competition, and we learned that we have to stay together throughout the whole time, and we can't go up and down as a team.
Who can we look for tonight from your team that you feel might stand out? Setter, outside hitter, maybe that back row? Talk to us a little bit about the girls on your squad.
Yeah, I think they all contribute something different to the team in a positive way. I think I've been really on our setter, Taylor Christensen, to be that leader, to be that voice on the court, and to work on those connections with our hitters. I think Ella Olsen has gained so much confidence in her abilities this year, too. Along with our outsides, we have a senior there, Autumn Kramer, who's been helping Peyton kind of go through the things, and I'm excited to see what they all can do tonight.
At the end of this, it's a long season ahead for your team, but win or lose, what do you need to see from this team as they continue? Early in stages, right? But what are you looking for to feel confident in what the Grovers are going to be able to accomplish moving forward?
I think the end goal is obviously winning state, going to state, but I think just learning as we go, always improving, always learning from our mistakes, and staying as a team. I think once we get to those individual girls, it's a struggle. So staying as a team of 6, working together the whole time throughout every single point, not taking a point off, will help us be very successful.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it, your time, and good luck tonight against the Burros.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you to Michaela Hesdallen for that opportunity to speak to her before tonight's game. That pregame interview brought to you by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing our heritage, sharing our future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. That's dhbanknd.com. They'll also be sponsoring our post-game interview with the winning coach, potentially one of the players from the winning team as well. Who's going to win this contest? It's really early on in the volleyball season across the region. Probably a little bit too early to tell, but we'll give you an idea of who we should be watching for in tonight's game when we come back on the Irie Insurance pregame show on your live events broadcast of North Dakota High School Volleyball.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Hillsboro Lumber is ready to help with all of your building or remodeling projects. If you're building something new, doing some remodeling, or working on other projects, Hillsboro Lumber has all of the building materials as well as everything else you'll need to complete your projects. Along with the materials, they can give you a free estimate. If you need help planning your project, let the professionals at Hillsboro Lumber assist you. They have the expertise and professional service to help you. For all of your building or remodeling projects, farm, home, or commercial, see Hillsboro Lumber today.
Dan Gutterson back with you on your live event, the Irie Insurance pregame show. I'm joined by cameraman Reggie, or Reggie Funk as he would prefer to be called. That is his name. Dan Gutterson with you, getting an opportunity to look at some Region 1, Region 2 action between the Grovers and the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros. Very early on in the season for both teams. Both had an opportunity to head up to Northern Cass over this past weekend and play in the Northern Cass Invitational. A good opportunity early on to see a lot of different squads out there, about 20 teams in that invitational, eventually won by last year's state Class B champion, the Jaguars of Northern Cass. But both the Burros and the Grovers showed very well in that contest. For the Grovers, the home team, they ended up going 2-1 in pool play with a 6th place positioning into that gold upper level bracket. Unfortunately, after that first round bye, they ended up falling short in that second round, but it's a build on what they were able to do last year in a competitive Region 1 where they finished 4th in the standings, and a team that'll be fun to watch. When talking with Coach Hesdalen before the game, she said really a couple players to watch for. On the right side, Taylor Christensen, one of the senior setters for this team, along with Peyton Downs, an outside hitter and a junior for this squad. A couple of names to be paying attention to for the Grovers. On the other side of the net, you have the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros, coached by Katie Stabler. Same thing with them in that Northern Cass Invitational over the weekend. They go 2-1 in pool play. Were placed 7th into that gold bracket. Lost right away in their first round game, but a nice showing nonetheless for a Burros team that went 12-16 overall last year, 4-6 record in Region 2 play, scored 8 and 12 in points in Region 2. 6 seniors on this roster, but 40 athletes signed up for volleyball for Hillsboro-Central Valley, creating a really great opportunity for a program to have a lot of talent and build some depth for years to come. Had 18 freshmen, so a couple of C squads were put together by Coach Stabler. But a couple of the players that we're going to be watching for tonight, Carsey Hadelstad, who missed last season with an ACL injury. She's back. Junior Haley Smeldon is another player to watch for as well. She finished last season with 85 kills, which was the 4th best on the team, and 29 blocks. This team will run about 9 players out there with the depth that they have, and that is something that we are going to go through when we come back from break. It is the American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. You're watching North Dakota High School girls volleyball on your live event.
The Hillsboro and Central Valley schools are glad to have students and staff back in the classroom and in activities. If you have questions in regards to the activity schedule for either school, the Burros want you to visit hillsboroK12.com or centralvalleynd.com and click on the HCV Athletics tab. The schedules and calendars are posted each day too. The school websites in Hillsboro and Central Valley are valuable resources for the community. Visit them often for updated information, daily announcements, contact info. It's all on the school website for the Hillsboro and Central Valley school districts.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Dan Gunnarsson back here at the Fargo Oak Grove Gymnasium for your live events broadcast of North Dakota High School volleyball action. Our pregame show brought to you by Irie Insurance. There's another way to manage your farm's risk, protect your equity with margin protection from Irie Insurance. Margin protection provides coverage against an unexpected decrease in operating margin. In other words, they can put a policy in place to protect you from changing input costs and crop prices on your farm. Make sure and join Irie Insurance for upcoming margin protection, which is tomorrow at 8 a.m. in Hillsboro. For more information, make sure to visit their website at IrieInsurance.com. That's Irie Insurance, an equal opportunity provider. Thank you to them for this pre-game show. The starting lineups, of course, will be coming up, brought to you by American Crystal Sugar. Want to get an opportunity to say thank you to other sponsors, of course, Dakota Heritage Bank for the pre-game interviews with both coaches from the Burros and the Grovers. Our scoreboard brought to you by Tim Kozojid Seeds, sales or the Golden Harvest scoreboard. We're going to have some timeout sponsors by Nodak Insurance Company, Brad Richter. There, of course, First Class Mortgage is going to bring you your set recaps. And then make sure and stay tuned for our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, where we'll name the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and the RDK Enterprises Player of the Game. It should be a fun contest tonight between these two teams. High expectations for these young squads. With the 40-plus players going out for Central Valley Hillsboro Volleyball, I had to ask Coach Hesdalen, well, how many did you get out for Grover's Volleyball this year? She said about 30, and not quite the numbers that she heard from Coach Stabler, but a really good showing nonetheless. And in fact, for Fargo Oak Grove, a good showing in the game prior with the Grovers winning that JV volleyball game. When we come back, we'll get an opportunity to hear the starting lineups brought to you by American Crystal Sugar. You're watching North Dakota High School Volleyball on your live event.
You finally found the perfect car in Racing Blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
River's Edge Insurance Agency, Halstead, 218-456-2172.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
You can trust the pros at Hillsboro Body Shop to make your vehicle look as good as new. Cars, pickups, trucks, semis, Ben and Tyrell at Hillsboro Body Shop can do the work. And Hillsboro Body Shop is also the place to repair your windshield. Don't wait to get that pesky chip repaired. Ben and Tyrell can replace that glass the same day. Call Hillsboro Body Shop at 701-636-4981 and put Ben and Tyrell's combined 30-plus years of experience to work on your vehicle. Hillsboro Body Shop, 701-636-4981.
Full Service Foods in Hillsboro provides contract packaging and private label foods for your local and regional retail stores. Full Service Foods is a leader in the upper Midwest for less than truckload quantities for contract manufactured sauces and dressings. They are a privately held company with a reputation for quality and customer service. Full Service Foods is proud to be in Hillsboro and bringing employment opportunities to the area. Find out more at fullservicefoods.com. Full Service Foods of Hillsboro, proud to support this community event. For all your fresh floral needs, rely on 3R Floral on Main Street in Hillsboro. If you have an upcoming wedding or a special event, contact 3R Floral to help with your floral needs for the occasion. Call 3R Floral at 701-636-2000. You can also find other gift ideas for all occasions at 3R Floral, including wooden items from Barnwood Designs. Check out the 3R Floral Facebook page to see some of the great gifts available. If you can dream it, we can do it at 3R Floral in Hillsboro.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Your live event bringing you North Dakota High School volleyball action from the gymnasium in North Fargo of Fargo Oak Grove. Excited for this opportunity to see some early season Class B action. Dan Gunnarsson alongside Reggie Funk, our cameraman tonight, getting the opportunity to bring you this broadcast. And we're going to get a chance to get into the American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. Live the sweet life, great careers, quality products, grow our own, crystalsugar.com. We start with the road team on the scoreboard, Hillsboro-Central Valley. The Burros, they will go like this, starting at one of the outside hitters, a junior, number 2, Sadie Gallagher. At the setter position, a senior wearing number 3, Molly Smeldon. At the middle hitter position, a junior, number 4, Carsey Hadelstad. She will sit right away. In a replacement of her will be the libero, number 6, the junior, Kaylee Kittleson. One of the other outside hitters for the Burros will be number 8, a junior in Kennedy Olson. We'll see in the middle, junior, another Smeldon, this time number 11, Haley. And then finally from the right side, number 12, a senior wearing number 15, Addison Merrick. Again, that is Gallagher, Smeldon, Hattelstad, Kittleson, Olson, Smeldon, and Merrick. Hillsboro-Central Valley, first game that they've played since the Invitational, where they went 2-1, but this is the first time that they will be seeing a full 5 best out of 5 set volleyball game, and that is the same for the home team on the scoreboard, the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, who go like this. Starting at the libero position, a junior, I should say a sophomore wearing number 1, Aspen Joes. In the middle, it'll be a senior wearing number 2, Ellie Olson. On the right side, and the setter for the Grovers, a senior, number 6, Taylor Christensen. Outside hitter wearing number 7, the junior will be Peyton Downs. Autumn Kramer, she'll don the number 8, be another outside hitter, a senior for the Grovers. And finally, you will have, I should say, on the other right side, you will have a senior wearing number 11, Ellie Machaya. And then finally, in the middle, and wearing number 12, it'll be Mari Bohm, the junior. Aspen Joes will go in for Mari right away when things start, coached by Michaela Hess-Dolan. The Grovers, same as the Burros, 2-1 in that Northern Cass Invitational, coming into this game looking for a victory to open up the season for that first 5-game, best of 5 games set between these two squads. Getting an opportunity to bring you tonight's game, it should be a fun one between these two squads. Thank you to Irie Insurance for bringing us that pregame show. We are now into the first set of things between these two teams. The Burros will don the road blue uniforms with the black and gray trim down the side. On the home side of things, the Grovers wearing the white jerseys with the maroon trim, maroon numbers, maroon lettering. As both these teams get an opportunity to set up. Again, thank you to our sponsors for giving us a chance to bring you some high school action. Just feels good to be back in gymnasiums across the state, across the region. High school athletics back in full force up and down the Red River Valley. As Liberos will get set in place, and it will be Central Valley to start things off, and serving for the Burros will be Smeldon. She sends it across, and we are underway. Dug out by Grove. Back line will get it, and then it is sent over by Christensen. Central Valley will set up, go to the middle. That one will not fall. Nice dig by Peyton on that back row there as Valley will come to the outside. It's Merck who gets it to the back row, pushed over by Downs. Going to the outside, a kill from the outside, dug out again by Downs. You already see her impact in that back row. This one sent close to the net, but good job pushing over was Christensen to the back row and in for Central Valley. Getting the point on that one was Sadie Gallagher from her back end position. So the point for Central Valley is they take a 1-0 lead. Coming up in the middle, nice kill by Ella Olson, the senior middle hitter, making it 1-1. So quickly, a side out for the Burros, and on the other side, I should say for the Grovers, and Kramer to serve. She gets it over. Dug out by Kittleson to the front row, going to the middle. This one knocked out of the air by Kramer, but it falls out of bounds, and the point will go to the Burros. Good job by Smeldon, that's Haley, to attack the net and get a side out. So the Burros will come back and serve. It's Lauren Spokley. She will come in and serve in place of Kennedy Olson to the back row. This one set, and outside Kramer, no good. A little long on her kill attempt, and the point will go to the Burros, up 3-1 early. Spokley to the back row. Grovers bouncing around. This one is going to fall harmlessly to the floor, to the point for the Burros. 3 straight for them, a little bit of a confusion in conversation between Haley Smeldon and Kramer. As Grover get it over, and that one is knocked down. And that was actually Olsen who knocked that in. And I should correct myself, it was her and Ellie Machaya who had a little bit of confusion and conversation in the last point drop for the Burros, but Kramer makes up for it. I should say Olsen makes up for it as she serves, gets it over to the line. Burros return it. This one's sent over by Machaya, but dug out nicely by the Burros. Back row, boy, just an extremely strong kill by the Burros as it went off the arms of Olsen up into the rafters and came down for the point for the Burros. Kittleson will sit. Now serving is Haley Smeldon as she gets it over the net. Dug out by Oak Grove. Set over to the left side. Machaya gets it over. Tipped over by Hattlestead. Back over to the Grovers. As they get set, going to the outside, that is Downs who's pushed it over. To the other side, going for the kill attempt for the Burros was Gallagher, but that one falls harmlessly into the net. Nice little back and forth between these two teams. 5-3 our score early on in set one of this game. And back to serve is Machaya. Dug out nicely in the back row by Kittleson, but the Burros are unable to get it over the net. Desperate attempt by Molly Smeldon at the end, but it ends up being a point for the Grovers to inch a little bit closer. Machaya back to serve. The lefty gets it over. A little bit of a knuckleball there as Kittleson is able to dig it out. Set it up and sent over by Merrick, but it's dug out nicely by the Grovers. Downs with the open spot in between the defense of the Burros, and it is a point for the Grovers, tying it up at 5. Nice job by Downs to find that soft area on the other side of the net. Kind of a finesse kill to get the point for Oak Grove. Dug out by Kittleson again as the Burros just kind of bouncing around. Sent over by Molly Smeldon. Almost got the point, but nice dig in the back row by Joes. Sent over again by Downs. She has an opportunity to send it back, but the Burros control the ball. Joes sets it up, gets it over. Nice job by the setter to try and find an open spot. That was, in fact, Bohm. Or I should say Christensen, who tried to find the open spot, could not. But the Burros in their scrambling attempt, unable to get the point. And the Grovers have taken a lead, a little three-point streak here for them. As this one is put over by Machaya. Coming down for the kill, and the point is Hattlestad, the middle hitter. Great job coming from her outside to get that point. As we get a chance to see Megan Ensign come in favor of Addison Merck. And a chance to set, or serve, I should say. Ensign gets it over. Dug out by Joes. Set up by Christensen on the back row. Coming around for the kill is Bohm. Beautiful set piece by Oak Grove to get a side out and back into that serving opportunity where it'll be Peyton Downs. Downs sends it over. Dug out by Kittleson. Set up into the middle, going for the kill was Hattlestead, but it's brought back into the Burros side, but Kittleson, in an attempt to get it over the net, just puts it right into it, and a point for the Grovers. It was 5-3 at one point. It's been a 5-1 point streak here for the Grovers as Downs will serve right from the middle, gets it right over the net. Dug out nicely by Gallagher. Set up on the outside for Molly Smeldon, but it's dug out by the Grover. Set up by Christensen. No, she tries to go back row and does. Beautiful job by Christensen to get it over the head of Ensign and the point. And time out. Stabler and the Burros. Katie Stabler wants to talk it over as Oak Grove hold on to a 9-6 lead. A timeout brought to you by the Nodak Insurance Company and Brad Richter. We'll keep it right here, folks, as we want to let you know that Nodak Insurance Company has all, as we get a chance to kind of reset in a way with the Grovers taking a 9-6 lead in this one. And really a 6-point streak for the Grovers. They were down 5-3, have taken it over and been very aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, being very technical, not making a lot of mistakes, being able to get into a position to take this 3-point lead. And Peyton Downs back to serve, trying to extend the lead for the Grovers. Downs serves it over. That one dug out in the back row by Spokley. Sets it up for Gallagher, who goes back row, dug out nicely by Machian. Trying to get it over on the outside was Kennedy Olson, but she softly puts it into the net and side out for the Burros. This one's sent over by Oak Grove. Knocked around and on the back end. That one is Kennedy Olson, but she goes on the side of the net. It landed in, but it ended up going not over the net. It went around the net, and I believe the referees are talking about that. So side out for Oak Grove, and it'll be Joe's to serve. This one, not a clean dig by Sadie Gallagher as it goes out of bounds, and it is now an 11-7 lead for Oak Grove. Scoreboard here has not updated. And the serve by Joe's, nice job, dug out beautifully by Olson. Sent over, nice kill on the outside by Molly Smeldon, who was able to put it over. And that makes it 11-8. I believe our scoreboard is the correct one. The one here in the gym is saying 10-8, but I don't think that is correct. We'll stay with that as this one is served over nicely by Kittleson. A kill attempt on the outside by Olson is too long, and the point goes to the Burros. Kittleson with the serve. Dug out by Kramer for Oak Grove. They get it over, and the Burros can't send it back. Point for the Grovers. Serve up by Kramer, or I should say Christensen. Return by the Burros. Christensen will set it up. Going to Olson in the middle. Dug out nicely by Kittleson. Set up on the outside looking for Kennedy Olson, who gets it over, but Oak Grove with a beautiful save and pushed over nicely by Machaya for the point for the Grovers. Christensen to serve again. Beautiful job to get it over to by Kennedy Olson to dig it out. Great block on the outside by Machaya and Kramer. And boy, that front row for the Grovers has so much length between Ella Olson, Autumn Kramer, and Ellie Machaya. It is really difficult to get it past them as Christensen's serve is up and dug out in the back row by Gallagher. Nice job by Joes to keep it alive and then finally sent over by Machaya. Burrows will set it up going to the outside is Smeldon, who tips it over and gets the point. Peyton Downs a little bit slow to react to get to that ball, and it is side out. Burrows finally back into control as we have a 14-10 score. Remember, this game was 5-3 at one point. An 11-5 run right now by the Grovers. Trying to get them back into it as Smeldon, and she sends it over. Christensen will set it up on the outside for Kramer. She just pushes it over. Gallagher sets it up to Smeldon in the middle, and just kind of whiffed on the hit was Haley Smeldon into the net, and the Grovers will get the ball back for serve. The Burros have not been able to really sustain any kind of streak where they've been able to get a couple serves in a row. The Grovers have really controlled it offensively so far as the Burros send it over. That was Merrick on the outside. A lot of just bumping it around in the back end. Downs finally pushes it over, set up by Smeldon, who pushes it right over into the Grovers side of the net. And then the Grovers get it over. It's pushed back by Smeldon. That's Haley as Downs will just bump it over. Dug out by Kittleson. Set to the outside, going for the kill, and tipped and out, so it's point Kennedy Olson and the Burros. Been impressed what I have seen just from the aggressiveness attacking the ball and attacking the net when the Burros get an opportunity to set up the offense. And a serve here down by 4 will come from Merrick, who gets it over. Dug out by Downs, but it's too far. And unfortunately, the kill back attempt by Smeldon, that's Haley, goes too far out of bounds. Point to the Grovers. Checking in for Joes is Bohm. the middle hitter, and serving right over is Ellie Olsen. Nice dig out by Kittleson going to the outside. That is Gallagher. Almost too far. Nice job by Kramer to send it back, and here comes Gallagher again. Back row, dugout by Olsen. Tip over by Bohm. Burrows, nice little rally going. Gallagher to the outside again, but that one is sent too far into the net. I believe it was by Merrick who sent it too far to the net, not giving a chance for Gallagher to attack the ball. That's a timeout. Hillsboro, their second of the set, will break with them as well. Your score through the first set of this volleyball contest: Hillsboro-Central Valley 11, Fargo Oak Grove 17. You're watching North Dakota High School Volleyball on your live event.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
Dan Gunderson back with you at the Oak Grove campus. The Grovers lead the Burros 17-11 in this first set and have an opportunity to build on that lead as they control the set. Ella Olsen sends it over. Burros push it right back. Olsen in the back row with the dig. Set by Christensen. Bohm tries to go for the kill, but the Burros recover. Into the middle, tipped over beautifully by Haley Smeldon. And the Grovers just not able to recover from the Smeldon tip. Gallagher there to send it back as well on the point for the Burros. As they cut into that lead, it's now 17-12. For the Burros, we see Carsey Hadelstadt come back in. That ACL injury last year, wearing the brace on the left knee. Sitting in the middle, sent over nicely by the Burros. On the outside, it is Machaya who pushes it over, but dug out nicely by Central Valley. Smeldon sends it over. Here comes Oak Grove. It's Downs from the outside and in. Peyton Downs with the kill. And Machaya back to serve for Oak Grove. They've just been able to string together more points in Central Valley consecutively. Hasn't been a lot of back and forth as that one is dumped right back into the Burros side, but we are going to get a whistle and a net violation on Central Valley, so the point will go to Oak Grove. Machaya again over, dug out nicely by Kittleson. Bumped up by Hadelstad, but in the back row, an inability by Central Valley to get it over. Fundamentally, we're just seeing some common or uncommon mistakes, I should say, by Central Valley, Hillsboro-Central Valley, that has led to the lead ballooning to 8 for the Grovers as they finally push it over. Kittleson set up by Gallagher, and then this one is just rejected into the face of Hadelstad, who only reacts to the ball falling into her lap by punching it out of play. It is now 21-12 as we get a little bit of movement here from Oak Grove. We see McKenna Molini come in as Machaya sends it over the lefty. The Burros send it back. Hadelstad into the arms of Downs. She'll get it returned to her, looking for the kill. Kittleson says no. Set up by Smeldon, going back to Gallagher. Dug out as it was returned by the blockers of Oak Grove. And now they get a chance to send it over. A beautiful job by Christensen with the set, fake, push, kill, point Grovers. And coming in for Oak Grove in favor of Machaya, it'll be Megan Winter, a senior, the righty, to serve. And that one goes right into the net. Point Burros. 22-13 your score. Burros need to put something together. Are going to ask for Megan Enzyme to help them out. Enzyme. Soft serve over, dug out by Joes. Christensen sends it back, but just too far. And a beautiful job in the middle by Carsey Hadelstad to find the open space and the point for Hillsboro. Boy, she caught the Grovers out of rotation. Back left corner was wide open for the point. This one a deep one, dug out by Joes. And it's set up on the right side. Going for the kill attempt, coming around the center was Bohm, but she puts it right into the net. And this is something Hillsboro-Central Valley has not been able to do. HCV, for a majority of this first set, is putting points together in bunches right now. 3 straight for them. 1 on the side out, 2 on the serve as Oak Grove looks to put it into that, and they do. Peyton Downs puts it over off the blockers on the outside in Hadelstadt and Smeldon. And now the Grovers just 2 points away from a set 1 victory. As back into the game is Autumn Kramer. Haven't called her name quite a bit in this first contest. As Peyton Downs sends it over, dug out by Kittleson, I should say, to the outside. Smeldon, dug out by Joes. Set up by Christensen. In the middle, tipped and saved as Bohm can't get the point. On the back end, there's Hadelstadt. That one is dug out on the back row by Winter. And then this one sent in and kill point for Oak Grove. And they are a point away from getting a set 1 victory. A little bit of confusion on getting the ball back into the game. But here we are. Downs looking for the set 1 victory to serve. The junior gets it over. Dug out by the Burrows, but not cleanly. It was Gallagher in the back row. Just couldn't control the ball. Point, set, game to the Grovers with a 25-15 victory in set 1. When we come back, we will get your set recap, which is brought to you by First Class Mortgage, as the Grovers take the first set 25-15. You're watching your live event, North Dakota High School Volleyball, on your live event.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Central Valley Bean Cooperative in Buxton, North Dakota has been adapting to the growing needs of the edible bean industry since 1982. The production of edible beans has helped many growers in the Red River Valley make their farming operation more profitable. Along with the increased profitability, these growers are producing a nutritious, high-protein food source that helps feed a hungry world. Central Valley Bean Cooperative in Buxton, with receiving stations in Hatton, Sharon, Larimore, Devils Lake, Wilton, Washburn, Lincoln, Piesick, Grafton, and Garski. Learn more online at centralvalleybean.com or call 701-847-2622.
Dan Gunnarsson back here at the Oak Grove Gymnasium. Fargo Oak Grove takes the first set 25-15. A little set recap brought to you by First Class Mortgage. First Class Mortgage, more than just our company name. It's the way we do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That 25-15 victory in set 1 for the Grovers, I really felt was supported by Ellie Machaya and Peyton Downs, both from the hitting aspect along with the service aspect. They just felt very in sync with their setter in Taylor Christensen. I will add that Hillsboro-Central Valley, up until the end of that set, felt a little discombobulated, wasn't really able to get into a good rhythm and find some momentum by putting points together in bunches. Again, it was 5-3 at one point. Central Valley had the lead, but then from there on out, just a great job by the Grovers to gain the momentum and take that first set 25-15. They get a first-class mortgage for that set recap. We now get into set number 2, and the Grovers will send things over, led by Taylor Christensen, sent over and dug out by Kaylee Kittleson. We're underway. Kittleson from the back row, dug out by Downs, set up by Christensen, going for the kill on the outside is Kramer, has the ball sent right back into her. Downs saves it right behind her, almost lands on Kramer's head, and a point for the Burros. Good way to start set 2 if you're Coach Katie Stabler and the Burros. Lauren Spokley, the senior, to serve. High arcing serve, and it is out of play. So just like that, Central Valley gets the ball and sends it back. A problem we saw in that first set, something that you would want to see eliminated if you're the Burros, but instead it's back to Autumn Kramer. The serve dug out by the Burros. Going for the middle kill is Smeldon, dug out by the Grovers. From the outside, Downs goes back row. Beautiful job by Downs. Almost deked Kittleson in the back row by where she was going. Kittleson was leaning right, almost looked to go back a little bit to her left before Downs shot it to the back row and the right corner off Kittleson, point Grovers. Kramer with a long serve and out. So Kittleson gave an attempt. Kramer's serve too strong, and we're tied at 2. Kittleson out. Haley Smeldon will go to the back row as she is in. Serves it over. Grover's on the outside. A long kill, too long, in fact, as Mari Bohm ends up hitting it into the hands of one of the spectators in the back row who had a drink in his hand with ice, and it looked like a shake as fans react disapprovingly to the fans' inability to control the ball. Meanwhile, on the court of play, the serve by Haley Smeldon in Hillsboro-Central Valley goes into the net. We're tied at 3. Joes to serve, dug out by Kittleson. Going to the outside, but we're going to call a lift, or I should say a double hit by Central Valley. So Hillsboro-Central Valley, I should say. So the point to the Burros. Joes to serve. Dug out by Gallagher. As she gets it back sent to her. Sends it over to Joes, set up by Christensen in the middle. Boy, Olsen going for the kill, but a great job by Central Valley to dig it out. Are they going to go back to her in the middle? No, they go to the outside for Downs, who gets it off the top of the net and in for the point for the Grovers. I should say Ellie Olsen. Who was in that first attempt. Great job by the Burros to dig it out in the back row, but they're not rewarded for their effort as that one, Spokley, sets it up to the outside. Hadelstadt puts that one right into the net. And, boy, it's got to feel like same movie, just different time of showing for Coach Stabler, as Central Valley just has not been able to put anything together early on in this second set. But, again, it's early as Spokley digs it out. Going to the outside, Hadelstadt. I don't think she was expecting that one to come to her. Just has to bump it over. Meanwhile, on the outside, the lefty, that's Machaya with the kill. It's just kind of an awkward angle from where Machaya attempts the hit from, and it kind of throws the Burros defense off enough that they were not prepared for that kill, and it's a point for the Grovers in a timeout Burros as they trail 7-3. You're watching North Dakota High School Volleyball on your live event.
Hey growers, when working on your water management solutions, call Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. They are your water management contractor, helping you with tile drainage plans, service drainage plans, or both. Remember, water management is a lifetime investment. Call Chad 701-430-0182 to get your water problem solved. For more information, follow Chad's Excavating on Facebook. For tile drainage and service plans, call 701-430-0182. Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Well, back here at the Fargo Oak Grove Gymnasium, they've got the mop out to clean up the mess made by a fan who was unable to be aware of his surroundings. Ball came right for him, knocked out a cup of what looked like maybe a shake with some ice in it. But regardless, that mop could be used to talk about what the Grovers are doing to the Burrows right now. They're just mopping them all over the floor as they come for the kill attempt to the outside. And again, it's a point for the Grovers. Peyton Downs this time a little too much to handle. Both her and Machaya have been absolutely on fire in this one, whether it's coming from the left or the right side. And I think Machaya just offers a different view of things with her being a lefty, as that serve by Joes goes too far, out of bounds. Point Central Valley. Let's see if they can build off this as we get a couple of rotations in. For the Burrows, you're going to see Ensign back to serve, while Spokley gets a seat on the bench. I should say Merrick gets a seat on the bench, excuse me. This one sent over, dug out by Downs. Christensen sets it up. Going for the kill is Olsen, but it's dug out nice in the back row by Kittleson. And then we're going to get a net violation on Hadelstadt for the Burrows. And the point goes to the Grovers. It's 9-4. And again, Kittleson with a great dig on the back end, as Olsen in the middle came with an electric attempt to try and kill that ball. But unfortunately, Hadelstadt just a little bit too close to the net, and the violation causes the point to go to the Grovers' way. I don't know if that Kittleson return would have stayed in bounds as Machaya sends it over. But even so, Hadelstadt trying to make up for it. That one's tipped by Olsen. Christensen tries to quickly send it over. Saved by the Burrows as Gallagher sends it back row. Tipped up Machaya. Olsen middle, but good job there by Ensign being in the right position to get the dig. And then on the back row, Downs with the aggressive kill to the back end. Kittleson unable to handle it. And it's 10-4 Grovers. They're running away with this second set. Machaya to serve, the lefty. Little knuckleball, it's over, and it just dies in front of Kittleson, unable to dig it out. Kittleson, the junior libero, and it's a timeout from Katie Stabler with this score, 11-4. Central Valley, Hillsboro, the Burrows trying to figure out how to get back into this second set, looking bleak, taking a timeout to regain things, regain composure. We'll take one as well. You're watching North Dakota High School Girls Volleyball on your live event.
Almost half of the energy used in homes goes toward heating and cooling the spaces we live in. Energy Star certified heating and cooling equipment can improve your comfort while lowering electric bills. Through its Bright Energy Solutions program, City of Hillsboro offers rebates for a wide range of energy-efficient equipment like heat pumps and central air conditioners. You can also get a rebate for having your cooling system professionally tuned up. Call the City of Hillsboro to learn more about rebates or visit brightenergysolutions.com.
Back here at the Oak Grove Gymnasium, that timeout brought to you by Nodak Insurance Company. Brad Richter. For all your insurance questions, see Trail County Agents with Answers. That's Agent Brad Richter in Hillsboro and Sales Associate Nick Preston in Mayville. More moisture on the court. Get that cleaned up as Machia sends it over. Gallagher's able to dig it out, and Smeldon's able to get it over, and we're going to get a net violation. I believe that one is going to go on Christensen, and a side out for Hillsboro. But even on that serve, the way that Machia gets it over, knuckleball is the best way to describe it. It floats, and it really can go either which way. Gallagher had a tough time returning or digging that ball out, but now she gets the opportunity to do some serving of her own as Joes gets over to Christensen. Downs will just push it over. That one tipped up by Hadelstadt, then tipped up again by the Burrows, going back row with it was Hadelstadt. Grover's just not really in a good opportunity to do anything with it as Kramer, a little bit deep on the near side, sends it into the net, and the Burrows a couple points in a row. Let's see if they can build on it. Sadie Gallagher, the junior. She's got a jump serve, this one. She went back row, Downs challenged her. She dug it out. Kramer in the middle, just push it over. It's dug out by Hadelstadt. Set up by Ensign, going out to the outside, and the kill attempt from Kennedy Olsen, who we haven't heard a lot from tonight, is rejected by the middle blockers of Ellie Olsen and Autumn Kramer. Point to the Grovers. They lead by 6. As Downs sends it over, dug out by Gallagher, going outside to Kennedy Olsen. This one tipped up and knocked over by the Grovers, then sent over by Molly Smeldon. There's Ellie Olsen trying to get a tip to the far side. She can't do it. The Hattelstad pushback blocked by Olsen. And it's 13-6. Ellie Olsen, the last few points for the Grovers, has really shown why she is so good, as that serve, just a tough dig attempt by the Burrows on their side. Trying to get the ball up to do something with. Falls harmlessly to the hardwood. And Peyton Downs to serve again, now up 8. Just beautifully finesses it over as Hattelstad pushes it, but back there to take it is Machai going to the outside. Kramer push dug by Enzyme, then push back over by Smeldon. But again, dug out nicely by Downs. Middle is Olsen. Push, and they are going to call I believe a lift on Ellie Olsen, which will get a side out for the Burrows. And back to serve will be Kittleson. 14-7 your score. Kittleson of the Burrows going to try to dig into things here. Hillsboro-Central Valley. It's the first to 25, so any kind of rally would be appreciated here, even if it's a 4-point rally, to get back into this thing. Hattelstad trying her best. Nice job dug out by Downs. Kramer from the back, too hard, point, Burrows. So there's a couple. Again, look at 4 here. You're not looking for it all back in one shot, but you're looking for at least a small portion of it, as Kittleson's serve is dug out by Downs, going to Olsen in the middle, but Kittleson there to return it. Nice job by Smeldon, who was backing up trying to set that and ended up pushing it into the net. Molly Smeldon just really not in a good position to try and set anything up for one of her middle or outside hitters. Instead, try to recover by pushing it over, but as she was falling backwards, pushes it into the net. And it will be Ellie Olsen to serve. Dug out by Gallagher, very close to the net. Nice job by Enzyme to push it over. But here comes Boehm with a serve, and we're going to get a net violation. Absolutely, that net is vibrating as if somebody has run into it. That is an HCV penalty and a point for the Grovers. Enzyme to set to Smeldon on the outside, hits the net. Nice job by Kramer to stay composed. Pushed to the outside by Taylor Christensen, can't get the point as the Burrows will regain serve. Molly Smeldon down 7, 16-9 again. Just an opportunity for a little bit of a rally here if you're HCV. From the outside, Kramer, no, in. Kramer dialed that one back just a tish. She's been strong on her attempts from the outside. On that one, though, got enough composure to put it in for the point. It's 17-9. Hillsboro-Central Valley gets it over. Peyton Downs kind of everywhere. Christensen gets it to Machaya, the lefty, to Smeldon, who pushes it over to Kittleson, who gets over to Hattelstad. Hattelstad can't get the point as the Grovers really do a great job of recovering. On the outside, Kramer push, finds the open hardwood. Boy, great job by the Grovers. It felt like Hattelstad had caught him off balance. They keep it alive, find the point, and it's 18-9, Oak Grove. Christensen to serve. Gets it over, dug out by Gallagher, set up by Smeldon. She'll go back row, Kittleson into the net point, Grovers. Stay tuned for our set recap after this second set, brought to you by First Class Mortgage. Hattelstad trying to push to the back, Kramer right there as Christensen goes back to her push. No, Hattelstad there. Enzyme going over to the other side of the net. Grover's ready for it. We're going to the middle where it's Hattelstad. She's rejected. Great job in the middle. It's Boehm, it's Machaya, it's point Grovers. Gallagher out for the Burrows. In is McKenna Dickoff, a senior. This one comes over. Olsen really unable to do anything with it as Smeldon sends it too close to the net for Merck to do anything with it as well. And it's 21-9 Oak Grove. So Christensen will take a seat as in her place comes McKenna Molini. Central Valley looking for the point. Hadelstadt in the middle. Pardon me. That was Haley Smeldon to the back row, and it's out. 22-9. Haley Smeldon is out. Paige Cotton is in. One of 2 sophomores on this team, or on this varsity squad for the Burros. Smeldon going to the outside, pushed over by Merrick. There to dig it out are the Grovers. That's Kramer on the outside. Kittleson, Doug. Smeldon push. Finding it is Downs. On the other side, Machaya going back row. Kittleson with the save. Hustle play by Dukoff, but it goes down to the ground, and they point to Oak Grove. Serve is over. Great job by Molini to get it over. That one into the net on the outside by Merrick. And the point goes to the Grovers. It's 24-9. Oak Grove a point away from winning set 2 as this one is into the net. Molini unable to get it over and get an opportunity for a set 2 victory for Oak Grove. Central Valley going to send in Gallagher and Spokley. As Dickoff and Kennedy Olson take a seat. 24-10 our score. This one over. Going for the kill. Great job by Bohm, but a better dig by Kittleson, who tried to send it back over and does. Kramer digs it out. Back and forth between her and Machaya. And Kramer gets the point and the set victory for the Grovers at 25-10. Set 2 is all Oak Grove. And it is all Oak Grove in this one as they are up 2-0. We'll take a break. When we come back, our First Class Mortgage set recap from the Oak Grove Gymnasium. You're watching North Dakota High School Volleyball on your live event.
Jeff Bierge and Matt Pierce of Cutting Edge Egg of Buxton specialize in adapting precision egg solutions into your farm to improve efficiencies and yields. Whether you're running the newest equipment or not, they can help you access your options, and they thrive on the challenge to retrofit your older machines. Selling, installing, and servicing solutions for any make, model, or color of tractor, combine, planter, sprayer, scraper, and air seeder. They love to talk about the goals for your operation and how they can help make them happen. More information on cuttingedgeegg.com.
Do you want that new boat? Are you building onto your home? Maybe you want the new camper or ATV. Dakota Heritage Bank can help you. This is Dustin Nagel, president at Dakota Heritage Bank Hillsboro location. You can visit with me or our other loan officers to help with loans and lines of credit from Dakota Heritage Bank. We are serving you with locations in North Dakota and Northwest Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank offers financial services you expect with a local perspective. dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Dan Gunnarsson back at the Oak Grove Gymnasium, 2-0 lead for the Grovers as we get to the set recap brought to you by First Class Mortgage. 25-10 for Oak Grove, an even more dominant set victory than their set 1 25-15 win earlier on. It was Machaya again, but we saw a little bit more of Ellie Olsen in that second set, specifically in the middle row, doing a lot of the blocking for this team. And Autumn Kramer did a great job of filling in some gaps as well. She actually had the set point victory for the Grovers, who take a 2-0 to set lead and really are dominating this game so far. Coach Stabler and the Burros really need to focus on the fundamentals, I believe, in this third set in order to try and get back into things. One set at a time if you're Coach Stabler. Get that third, feel out the fourth. If we can get to the fifth, should be a good victory in that way for us. But that is the second set recap brought to you by First Class Mortgage, which is more than just their company name. It's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That's First Class Mortgage. Set 3 about to get underway with the Burros serving. It's Molly Smeldon. Gets it over, and already we have a whistle and an issue for Oak Grove. As, not the head referee, but the one closest to the scorer's table. I believe it was a rotational issue. Now with volleyball, they have to be set in a certain way, and his explanation to Coach Hestalin didn't go over that well. She didn't seem to agree with it a lot, kind of laughed and shrugged. Meanwhile, her team gets that point right back as the kill on the outside by Peyton Downs, who has been an outstanding offensive threat for the Grovers, and we're tied up at 1. And again, it's the same story. It's the Burros, 1 point here, 1 point there. It's not 2, 3, or even 4 at a time, as that one goes out as Kramer, and her serve is wide, and it's 2-1 HCV. Into serve is Spokley. A great job by the Grovers as they're able to push it around, and that's Taylor Christensen finding an open spot on the other side of the net to tie things up at 2. Christensen has done a great job subtly throughout this game, kind of controlling the tempo for her hitters. I would, kind of relate the setter to the point guard when it comes to basketball. Meanwhile, you just have the Twin Towers in the middle with Olsen and Machaya getting the block and the point. And it's 3-2 Grovers. Joes to serve. Aspen, the sophomore, the libero, goes back row with it. Gallagher on the outside, and again, the blockers are there in Machaya and Olsen, but this time Gallagher finds some space and gets the point as it goes off the Grovers and out of bounds. Haley Smeldon to serve. Boy, that one was a little too far, but Christensen, as she was coming to the net, able to redirect that one and get it over just enough to give the point to the Grovers. Machaya and the left-handed serve specialist. She gets it over. Adelstadt in the middle. Kramer there to knock it up in the air. Peyton Downs always looking for an opportunity to go for the kill. On the other side, Gallagher going far end. Kramer unable to handle it. It falls 10 rows deep into the student section here at Fargo Oak Grove. Gallagher from the outside. I would love to see Gallagher, and even when she gets the opportunity to come in, Kennedy Olsen get a chance to really get going. They've had some good opportunities to get some points for the Burros, but those blockers in the front for Oak Grove have been tough to get it through. Meanwhile, Olsen trying to get the point, can't get it down. Pushed by Ensign to the back row, but there's Joe's, and this one is going to be a point for HCV as we have a double hit on the outside. And the Burros take the lead. Ensign gets it over. Ellie Olsen from the middle gets it off of Hadelstadt and down for the point. Gallagher kind of pointing to herself, saying it was her fault. Hadelstadt in that situation was a lone blocker, and we've seen it not be the case on the other side, so I think that's why Gallagher is pointing to herself, saying, I should have been there to support you. As it is, it's 5-5 our score, as a little bit of perspiration has gathered by the bench of HCV. Some conversations are ongoing between the benches. They're looking for a drier towel to maybe wipe up some moisture, so we have a bit of a break in the action. Gives me an opportunity to remind you about the post-game show coming up, which will be brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash, where we will name the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and the RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. And, of course, thank you to all the sponsors who give us the opportunity to bring you not only high school volleyball throughout the region, but just high school athletics in general. Make sure and check out yourliveevent.com for upcoming games, broadcasts that may be in your area. I'll tell you what, I'm a radio guy. I come from a radio background. The ability to be able to stream games and multiple games on the same day is just such an advantage for this company, and one that they take full opportunity of, and really just a chance to get out to local area high school athletics and just see some talented athletes play. We're seeing some talented athletes tonight in the Oak Grove Gymnasium, and it's the Grovers who have dominated this one through 2 sets, up 2-0 as Peyton Downs' serve goes into the net, and a little bit of an uncharacteristic struggle so far for the Grovers here in set 3. Sometimes you see this when those first 2 sets come so easily. It's a little bit of a lack of focus sometimes. Some things that were going over just pretty smoothly in those first 2 sets. Not so here in the third, but Ellie Olsen softly pushed that over, try to get a side out, and that is bumped over by Central Valley. Kind of a missed opportunity to get a spike. Kramer on the other side, again long. Autumn Kramer had a very solid second set, but her kills from the outside have been just too aggressive as Sadie Gallagher's serve is over. Dug out by Olsen, set up, they're gonna go Kramer who pushes it there. Enzyme with the support in the back end. Tipped over by Hadelstedt, and then Christensen with the push, but we are gonna get a double hit on her, and it is going to be a side out for Central Valley as Coach Hestalin looks at her assistants, maybe for an explanation of why the Grovers are getting called with so many double hits, as Kramer kind of punches it over, and unable to move is Hadelstedt to get into that area for the Burros, and it falls to the hardwood point for the Grovers. Ella Olsen to serve. Out of bounds to the side. So things that we saw Hillsboro-Central Valley do, not able to put points together. The Grovers doing the same thing early on here in the third set. Benefit the Burros, and it's Kittleson to serve. Up 9-6, she goes to Joes. Gets it over to Bloom, dug out by Kittleson. Enzyme will set it up to Smeldon, who goes off the top of the net. No, they're going to say that was touched by the Grovers. Boy, I didn't see him touch it at all. Burros will keep going, and this time Kittleson just puts it right into the net. Boy, really lucked out did the Grovers on that one, because I don't think that hit any player at all. I think that just hit the top of the net, went back into the Burros side. I even think they thought that too, because they kind of stopped a little bit. But Grovers get the side out and the serve, and now returning the ball. Bloom into the middle blocker of Smeldon, that's Haley, as it falls into the hands of the Burros, goes under the net, and point for the Grovers. Christensen with the serve off the palms of Olsen. This one, nice job by Smeldon. However, it is too far to the back end, and the point again for the Grovers. Now starting to put the points together. They've tied this thing up at 9. Christensen to serve. Deep, and Gallagher can't handle it in the back row. Coach Stabler just talking with her players, explaining to them who should have been there, and kind of looked at Kennedy Olsen and said, that was yours. And Olsen looks at Gallagher, says, my fault to put you in that position. She takes this one on this time, unable to handle it, and Coach Stabler needs a timeout. And we will break with her as well. 11-9, a 5-point rally for the Grovers, giving them a lead here in the third set. You're watching North Dakota High School Athletics on your live event.
My coworkers here at Duggleman are super supportive. We all get along. Makes for a really easy work day, easy work week.
From day one, I felt like it's been a big family here at Dagelman.
Our culture at Dagelman is really second to none. It's truly a family atmosphere.
It feels really great to be a part of a team that is building some of the toughest equipment in the farm industry.
Back here at the Oak Grove Gymnasium, this timeout is brought to you by Nodak Insurance Company. Nodak Insurance. For all your insurance questions, see Trail County's agents with answers. Agent Brad Richter in Hillsboro and sales associate Nick Preston in Mayville. Well, a little bit of a 5-point rally here for the Grovers to jump back in front, 11-9. Christensen serves into the arms of Gallagher. Enzyme will set it up on the outside. Olsen to the back row where Joes is able to grab it in the middle. Bloom just over the outstretched arm of Enzyme and says, my bad. Point, though, to the Grovers. And it's 12-9. Out serve is long. Gallagher does the right thing by letting that go, and Christensen is finally relieved of her serving duties to the benefit of the Burros, who were up 9-6 when she took over, are now down 12-10. Smeldon gets it over. A left-handed Machaya tries to get the kill, but it is blocked beautifully by the Burros as Kennedy Olsen from the outside goes wide. But we're going to say it's tipped, and it will be a Burros point. And Coach Hestalin can't believe it. And the head referee is saying it was tipped, the one that is in the tower, so there'll be a conversation. The Burros thinking they're getting the point off the tip, but the one closest to the plate did not call that. The one on the far side said yes. And so we're going to bring in one of the back judges to confer if she saw something. And actually, they're going to bring in both back judges to confer if they saw something. And I would say that this is a pretty important part of this set, because if Hillsboro-Central Valley is able to get that point, they keep serve and pull a little bit closer. This has not been their day this night, as the back judge is shaking her head. I believe we're going to get this overturned, and it is. Great job by the referees to come together there as well, to have that discussion, to really get everybody's opinion on the point in general. And because of that, now Oak Grove with the serve, and it's Kramer who gets it over, dug out by Gallagher. Smeldon will send it to nobody. It kind of fell in between both Smeldon and Merck, and it's the point to the Grovers, who are now up 4, and Kramer's back serving. Gallagher digs it out into the hands of Smeldon. Now Gallagher's got to push it back over. Pushed up by Christensen to Machaya to Downs. Dug out by Kittleson. Finds Smeldon, who go to the outside to Olsen, who pushes it to the back row. Joe's there. Christensen, middle to Bloom. Dug out by Smeldon. We're going to get a double hit. I believe, no, it's going to be a net violation this time on Haley Smeldon, as looked like Coach Stabler may have wanted a timeout. Instead, she wants to get a towel out there to kind of clean off or dry off the area near Kennedy Olsen's spot. I believe that's where Sadie Gallagher had kind of fallen down to get a dig. And Coach Stabler wanted that cleaned up. 15-10. Hoping her team can clean up some of the mistakes in this third set. Right now, down 5 and take it on water. That was a deep return. Joe's might have been better to let it go. Machaya, though, oh boy, we're going to call a tip. And it will be point Oak Grove. And now we are going to get a timeout from Coach Stabler as well. We'll break with her. 16-10, your score. Oak Grove starting to pull away in this one with that 6-point lead, going for a 3-set sweep of the Burros. You're watching North Dakota High School Volleyball on your live event.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success.
how well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back here at the Grovers Gymnasium, 16-10 our score. Thank you to the Simcoe G Seed Sales for your scoreboard sponsorship. The Gold Harvest scoreboard showing 16-10 for the Grovers as they start things out coming out of that break. And it is Machaya with the kill. Boy, Grovers were so excited about that point. They knocked Taylor Christensen to the ground. And why not? 17-10 is the lead for the Grovers. At one point, it was 9-6 Burrows. And since then, it has been all Grovers, as that one sent over by Kramer, dug out by Gallagher. She's going to go back row kill, kind of hit it off her fingertips and just lofted it over. Meanwhile, Peyton Downs is too far, and that one is out. Point. Hillsboro-Central Valley. Peyton Downs. Ellie Machaya. Ellie Olsen. Those three have been really good, and now you get Mari Bohm into the action as that one goes off the fingertips of the blockers of the Burrows, and a point to the Grovers. As Dahlin has to be very impressed and pleased with how her team has played. Came out a little bit unfocused to start this third set, but have really turned things on here as this game, this set specifically, has gotten a little bit out of control. And boy, now they're just playing with the Burrows as Machaya comes up with yet another kill. Definitely one of the candidates for the energy player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge, or the precision player of the game, brought to you by RDK Enterprises. I'm glad they give us two opportunities to name players of the game, because in this one, as Gallagher gets the point for the Burrows, the Grovers have provided with us a plethora of options. Unfair to name more than one. Isn't over yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Burrows down 7, but with the serve. Ellie Olsen says side out. Gets the kill. And the point for the Grovers. Machaya puts it on the far side as Gallagher's able to dig it out. And there again, you've got Olsen and the blockers. Ellie Olsen just towering over the net. The Burrows must feel like it's 20 feet tall. Ellie Olsen. Block party. And there's Machaya with an ace. There has not been a lot of aces on either side tonight. Somewhat surprisingly, just because specifically when Machaya serves, it's so uncomfortable to watch that ball just float in the air. And for Central Valley to come up with it has been difficult. Meanwhile, the Grovers are just returning everything HCV sends their way. HCV on the other end just having a tough time communicating, getting this ball over as Peyton Downs puts that one right into the net, so the point for the Burrows. Get a little bit of a rotation here for HCV as Merrick is out and Ensign is in. Boy, Ella Olsen jumped a little bit early on that set, on the set from Christensen. Still able to get enough on it to get it off the fingertips of the Burrows blockers, and the point for Oak Grove. 23-13 Grovers, 2 points away from a 3-set sweep. Downs floats it over, dug out by Gallagher. Set, middle, Hattlestead, no. Olsen kind of helped the ball fall to the ground and getting the point for the Grovers, and we are a point away from the Grovers walking out of this gym with a 3-set sweep victory. Burrows, Smeldon to return, gets it over, but bumped up by Olsen, pushed over by Machaya. Set over to the other end is Gallagher. She'll just bump it over. It's Olsen. She wants it back. No, they'll go backhand. Kramer off the net, and Kittleson sends it into the bleachers and sends us to the end of this one as Oak Grove dominates through 3 sets, a 25-13 victory to finish this one out, to build off the 25-10 and 25-15 wins in set 2 and 1 respectively. It is the Grovers all over Hillsboro-Central Valley to take this cross-regional victory 3-0. We're going to get into our post-game show, brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash, where we will name the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and the RDK Precision Player of the Game. Before we do that, and before we take a break to get into that post-game show, let's get into our First Class Mortgage third set recap, a 25-13 victory for Fargo Oak Grove. Really, early on, the Burros had a 9-6 lead, and then it was just all Grovers after that. Too much Machaya, too much Ellie Olsen, and really just too much of everybody throughout this game. It's really going to be tough to kind of name those players of the game for Fargo Oak Grove, but we will do our best. Thank you very much to First Class Mortgage for their set recaps. First Class Mortgage, more than just our company name, it's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home, refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com. When we come back, it'll be the Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. We'll get a chance to talk to the head coach of the Grovers, Michaela Hestalin, and maybe interview a player or two when we get a chance to talk about the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and the RDK Precision Player of the Game. You're watching North Dakota High School Athletics on your live event.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Contact Ryan Opdahl, your local Farmers Union insurance agent, at 701-436-5777 or use the QR code to connect with the agency.
Welcome to a better banking experience with First State Bank. Locations in Grand Forks, Thompson, Buxton, Mayville, and Portland, First State Bank is here for you. Locally owned for over 120 years, we know you and the area. Banking for today with savings, checking, and loan services for business, personal, or agriculture. And helping to guide you to tomorrow with wealth management and insurance services. Today, tomorrow, together. First State Bank. Stop into our locations in Grand Forks, Thompson, Buxton, Mayville, and Portland, or visit online, firststatebanks.com.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey, Swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
The Hillsboro-Central Valley Booster Club is made up of parents, fans, and community members who work together to build team and community spirit. The Hillsboro-Central Valley Booster Club supports Hillsboro and Central Valley students in their school activities and encourages all students to be involved in the activities at your school. The Hillsboro-Central Valley Booster Club takes great pride in uniting the communities to support the boroughs. encouraging everyone to promote school spirit, sportsmanship, and to support the Hillsboro-Central Valley students. It's the Hillsboro-Central Valley Booster Club.
Back here for your live event at the Oak Grove Gymnasium. I'm joined now by Peyton Downs, the junior outside hitter, one of our players of the game for tonight's contest. And Peyton, just a great job. You guys came out and dominated. Really felt like you kind of set the tone right away with your ability to get some early kills and really do a good job. Kind of talk about what you saw from your setter and Taylor Christensen, how the flow of the game was going, and how you're able to get into things so early on.
She's the one that really sets the tone for our game by hustling, getting every ball, and always working on getting the ball right for us so we can get a kill and put the ball away.
Yeah, well, it seemed to be that you guys were doing a good job of kind of mixing it up, going to some different things. Ellie Olsen did a good job from the middle, but it also seemed as the game was going on when they'd have side outs and try to get some points going, your blockers did a really good job. So tell me a little bit about the defense and the way you guys were able to attack, their outside hitters to not let them get momentum.
Show that we're there, and so maybe that intimidate them a little bit.
Yeah, no, it seemed like you guys did a great job of making sure to keep the momentum on your side, building things. The last thing I'll ask you is that third set. It seemed like you guys came out a little bit unfocused. Was there anything that you talked about? You were down 9-6, and then all of a sudden you guys were up a ton and ended up winning 25-13. Was there anything that you talked about in the huddles to kind of regain the focus? Was there anything said like, hey, guys, let's just finish this out and let's not keep a minute and let's just get this thing done? Yeah, no, you did a good job, Peyton. I appreciate it. We'll bring in your teammate here. That's Ellie Machaya, who had a really great game as well. And, Ellie, I'll bring you in here, too. Good job. Congratulations. Way to play. The one thing that I want to ask you about is your serve, because it seemed like they had a really difficult time. Is that something that you notice against other teams because you are a lefty? And it seems like your serve has no rotation at all. It seems like it just kind of floats over the net. Keep going.
Sometimes, I don't know. I guess being a lefty tricks them sometimes, but I don't know.
Now, do you practice that, or is that something that's just happened naturally? But
yeah,
okay.
We work on serves almost every day at practice. We have a little routine that we do. So our main focus is getting that float and serving to the spots that we see are open, usually not the libero.
Okay. No, it was really impressive with the way that you're able to get it over and your ability to kind of keep them on their toes with how you're able to serve. Now, I asked Peyton the same question. I'll ask you about just the defense. Offensively, you guys were doing a great job of stacking points, but it seemed like every time that Central Valley had an opportunity to get some momentum back into this game, your blockers were doing a great job of patrolling the net. Was that something that you guys kind of came in with a little bit more of focus, or is that something that just kind of happened naturally in your mind?
Yeah, we definitely are a team that focuses on defense, and we know that if our defense is good, we can get good swings and that Taylor can get to the ball easier, so we definitely focus on that a lot.
So what do you think now moving forward, early on in the season, but what do you feel like you're going to take from this, and build on? What is something where you're looking back to if you're struggling, or if you know what you can kind of, rely on as the season goes on? Was there anything you could take from this game?
Yeah, definitely last year we struggled with Hillsboro, and this year we came out really good with a lot of energy, and I think that energy will carry on to the rest of the season, hopefully.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, congratulations to you guys early on. I'll bring in your head coach. Good job tonight, Ellie. And we'll bring in Coach Michaela Hesdalen. And, hey, congratulations to you guys. Great work just coming out and really dominating all three sets. What do you think kind of the difference was in tonight's game? I talked to Ellie, and her serving ability seemed to really stand out. Peyton seemed to do a great job from the outside. I mean, your defense was tremendous. I've just given you a ton of things that you can talk about. But in your mind, Coach, what do you think it was, maybe the one thing that really excelled for you tonight?
I think like you said, our serving was awesome. I always tell them, defense and serving wins games. And I think we focus a lot in practice on our serve receive. And getting our setter that 2.0, 3.0 pass to run our offense, which I was so proud of all the girls tonight who worked really hard to get that first ball up to our setter so we could make the kill off of it.
Now, defensively, I want to talk a little bit about that as well, because it seemed like every time that Central Valley Hillsboro would get a chance to maybe put some points together, get back into any kind of set, your defense was there to really snuff anything out. Was that something that you guys have worked on just extensively throughout practice? Was that maybe a point of emphasis coming into tonight's game, or do you feel like that's just going to be one of your strengths that those girls up front have really just adapted doing?
Yeah, I think that's one of our strengths that we're going to keep working on for this season. I think, too, when we play other teams that are scrappy, it's so annoying. You can't get that kill. So we try to do that on our side, too, right? Us not making the errors, making them make the errors to help keep our momentum, help keep our points going there. But really proud of the defense that they showed us tonight. And was it all pretty? No. But did the ball come off the court? Yes. So really proud of them.
What are you going to take from tonight? Again, early on in the season, but as Ellie said, you guys struggled with Hillsboro-Central Valley last year. Didn't seem to have much of a struggle tonight, but is there anything that when you get back into the gym for your next practice that you're going to say, hey, it was great, but here's what we really need to work on?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think our serving and defense was phenomenal. I think now it's just, okay, having that good block, having that first ball kill, all of that coming together. But first night, home game, I can't be any more happy for these girls. I'm proud of these girls. They did awesome. But like I said, in our huddle at the end of the game, we're coming into practice tomorrow and getting better every day.
Yeah. No, well, congratulations, Coach, on the first victory of the year and the home victory for you guys as well, as you dominate Central Valley, Hillsboro-Central Valley 3-0, and be excited to see how the season progresses for you.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. That was the head coach, Michaela Hesdalen, for the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get into some recaps. Name those RDK and Enbridge player of the games. I have a feeling that you probably already know who those two are going to be, and wrap things up from the Fargo Oak Grove Gymnasium. You're watching North Dakota High School Athletics on your live event.
There's more at 104. Hillsboro, North Dakota has everything you want in a hometown. Business opportunities, great jobs, and a top-notch school. Shovel-ready lots for your next idea. Great jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. An excellent education for your kids with small class sizes and lots of school spirit. Plus easy access to I-29 and the conveniences of North Dakota's largest cities. Build your future in Hillsboro and see why there's more at 104.
Hillsboro Dairy, with delivery of fresh dairy products and more to your home door. I've had Hillsboro Dairy delivering cold, fresh dairy products and other items to my door for years. Three main reasons why. It's the convenience, the products are fresh, and the delivery service from the Udder Guy. Nobody does it like the Udder Guy. Every week, we get to see Teak. Please call him at 701-436-5877. Delivery right to your door from Hillsboro Dairy.
Dan Gutterson back here on your live event for the Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Just a big thank you to them. If you love your ride at Tommy's Express Car Wash, sign up for the Tommy Club through the app today, and new members get their first 30 days free. Again, new members get their first 30 days free when you sign up for the Tommy Club through the app. Tommy's Express Car Wash with 2 locations in Fargo, 2 in Moorhead. They have the tools and the expertise to keep your car clean inside and out. And a thank you to the post-game interviews, which is brought to you by Dakota Heritage Bank. Sharing our heritage, sharing our future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. dhbanknd.com. Great game from the Grovers tonight as they come away with a 3-set victory. We're going to get an opportunity here on the Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show to do a little bit of a set recap with those 3 sets and just go through what we felt was really the outstanding portion of those games. The first set, which was won 25-15 by the Grovers, it was really Machaya and Downs, the stars of those games. Those two really set the tone, both with their setting and the aggressiveness coming to the offense. 25-15, like I said, I was about as close as Hillsboro-Central Valley got all night. The second set, even more dominating by the Grovers, 25-10 against it. It was Machaya and Olsen in the middle with the blocking, where the defense really started to take over, and that can be so demoralizing for another team when you feel like you've done everything right. You get to a position to get a kill, and you just end up driving it right into the Twin Towers that stand in the middle of that net, which Oak Grove brought in waves in that second set. In the third set, a 25-13 victory for the Grovers. It was 9-6 at one point for Hillsboro-Central Valley. It really felt like they may have had something going. Unfortunately, just not able to put anything together momentum-wise, and they fall 25-13 in that third set and lose 3-0 to the Burros. Upcoming for Oak Grove after this, they will be at Northern Cass. A tough one for the Grovers. Northern Cass, of course, last year's Class B state champions, but a good one on Thursday night up in Northern Cass. For Hillsboro-Central Valley, they get a little bit more time off. They'll come back after the holiday break, where they will head to Kindred to take on the Vikings on September 5th. Those are the next two games for those teams as they start off early on in the season. 1-0 for the Grovers, 0-1 in the regular season for Hillsboro-Central Valley. Now an opportunity to bring to you the Energy Player of the Game, which is brought to you by Enbridge. Enbridge Energy, life takes it, and at Enbridge, energy is for life. Make sure to check out enbridge.com for career opportunities. Our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, we had a chance to talk to her earlier. It was Peyton Downs. Just felt like the energy she was able to bring early on in that first set the tone for Oak Grove and continued to build momentum throughout this game for the Grovers. She is our Energy Player of the Game, brought to you by Enbridge. For our Precision Player of the Game, brought to you by RDK Enterprises, well, we handed out to one Ella Machaya. The lefty, a right side hitter. Great job not only serving, but the ability to get kills when the team needed. Really felt like her serving more than anything caused fits for Hillsboro-Central Valley, and something that's going to be a weapon for the Grovers moving forward as they continue in this season. And again, she is our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. RDK Enterprises, Hillsboro, and Drayton for precision planning updates, information, questions. Contact RDK Enterprises at Hillsboro and Drayton. That's 701-636-2119, or visit planterdoc.com. RDK Enterprises is here to help you. And that is going to do it for the Your Live Event crew from Hillsboro-Central Valley. They're sweeping the bleachers, much like Oak Grove swept the Hillsboro-Central Valley Burros tonight in 3 sets with a victory to go to 1-0 on the season. For Reggie Funk, I'm Daniel Gunnarsson. Thank you so much for watching North Dakota High School Athletics on Your Live Event. We'll see you on our next broadcast.